if you want to get advice about careers, get advice from somebody who's made it in careers.
Action. Hi. Welcome to another episode of Founder Diaries. Today is episode 3. Thank you so much for making it this far. Make sure to subscribe on whatever platform that you're listening to this to. It's both on audio and visual platforms. Today's guest is called Robert. I will let him introduce himself. I won't box you in. And I'm actually really excited for this episode. Let me just warn you, you may or may not get your edges snatched. So just be ready and make sure you actually have a notebook as well to take some notes. Welcome to the show and thank you so much for coming. Please tell people who you are, what you do.
So you've already boxed me, the edges story. I just want chicks to switch off. But so as he said, I'm Robert. I am an executive leadership coach and I'm a trainer of entrepreneurs. So yeah, my handle is business therapist, and that's kind of like what I do. Finding out, okay, we can teach about business. What about the person in the business? And the person in the business is the biggest asset. And we don't invest in ourselves. We find somebody will want to buy a very big machine, open a warehouse, buy the car, the pickup, but they are neglecting their health, their mental well-being. And as a founder, surely it's first and foremost you. And then now you extrapolate to the rest of your business. Yeah, so we try to support business owners, especially lady business owners. I don't know which one I'm supposed to use. I think different training cohorts tell me, don't say woman, don't say female, don't say lady. I'm like, okay, sawa. Iyo, yes. To really affirm them in their abilities. And I think without discrimination, ladies do handle way more than men in the day-to-day organic living, right? So you could be a mother, a wife, a career woman, and a side hustle, and a firstborn daughter and favorite cousin, plus then best friend of somebody. You are also, having other responsibilities. So it's a lot. And because I usually feel like ladies are nurtured to be nice and all that, you can give away so much and you don't recharge, right? And how do you take care of that?
And do you think that's the main reason maybe there sometimes a struggle between how women are running businesses and how men are running businesses?
That's very broad, but let me just hit it to the general approach and then niche it down. I'll talk about a career analogy.
Okay.
So in Nairobi, gynecologists, male gynecologists are doing way better than female gynecologists.
Really?
So it's a funny story, right? But this is not like statistics. It's what I've heard amongst them, right? So please don't quote me and don't get me
Do
in
your
trouble.
findings.
Yeah, do your findings. But the idea is, they say that babies are born when they're mid. So 4 a.m., 3 a.m., it's time. The guy who can just shoot out of the house is the man. He can handle any emergency. Why? Because the wife is probably handling the child. They're getting ready.
Household, yeah.
Exactly. So, but the lady gynecologist will go, treat the emergency, come back at 4 a.m., sleep an hour. Kids are getting ready to school. Even if she's not the one preparing them, they said, bye, mom, wake up, mom, nini, nini. And then she's back. Maybe she's doing rounds at major hospitals. So you see, there's that bias, right? So in business, sometimes we say, the man can just shoot off while the domestic side is handled. And this is not a discriminatory statement. It's just how generally, even culturally, it's expected. So the woman needs to be a little more organized. The other level of the lady entrepreneur, okay, is the skin in the game. So when it comes to the sufferings or the pressure points, it's the skin in the game. And I'll go into a space where, and this is not discriminatory again, is that you'll find some ladies will come and they have an established home. So they have a well-off husband, a middle-class family, and she's doing a business. It's more like a passion, and she's trying to make it work. And her attitude versus one who has 3 kids, divorcee, took a loan for the man and the man disappeared. She's handling a very different level of pressure. Then as you'd have it, if you calculate the normal age where that happens, 35 to 45. Yeah. That's when the kid is going to high school. That's when the other one is in primary. The other one doesn't get, because it's really doop, doop, doop. Yeah. So she's not playing. She's having a different form of pressure. And then guess what? She's a firstborn daughter who's trying to educate the smallest brother. So you can imagine the mindset. It's very different. If you don't allow them to feed and recharge, they burn out. Yeah. So that's the difference, what I've seen.
What's the worst case of burnout you've actually seen? And does it take like a day to recover? Because I think what we do, and okay, speaking as me, when I'm feeling burnt out, I'm like, okay, let me take one day off. Is that really enough? And what do you need to do to kind of recharge from burnout?
So burnout, I would say, in my opinion, is partially an energy thing, but predominantly a control thing. So you're burnt out because you're constantly feeling that you're not in charge and in control of your time and decisions. So you're being dragged out, because exertion, they take even more effort than like a form of self-slavery. So you're pushing yourself to the big pam, 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 and you don't have a choice. You're just being pulled. Versus that one thing or two things you really like doing, unajituma, you send yourself. So when we talk about burnout properly, not as a buzzword, the first thing we check is, how do you spend your time? And in that spending of your time, what are the priority settings? Because we don't even, like, if we go deep, high level coaching, we don't say time management. Those are tools. We say priority settings. Because when you're doing what is important to you, you recharge, you get fulfilled. It's that thing for, oh man, I'm so tired, but it was such a good day. Versus, I want to go away. I want to, when will this end? Why am I doing this? So we have, worst case, somebody stops by the side of the road, the typical meltdown, which sometimes is just your body telling you, you need to clear cache, you need to reset. The man needs to start a phone again. Yes. So there are those short ones, or one day of nothingness. You're trying to just clean it up. But I don't think it's a one day thing. It's a whole system reboot. The other one that I fear is the one that is not loud, where you keep running to something that's negative. You keep running to a vice. So that's when you start having people abusing drugs. And we don't even have to go hard drugs. Yeah, you're having wine every day. That a bottle. It's not social anymore, is it? That can't be the excuse.
I think even worse, people sometimes you can make people vices as well.
100% toxic relationships. This funny business that trends. You see, you find somebody who is so proper, but they're looking for dodgy things to do in the dark. Why? It's because they're trying to compensate. They're trying to get more control in the vice. And funny enough, vices give you a sense of control. I have bought the wine like Tuesday afternoon and I'm getting drunk. You feel in control, even if it's bad for you. You feel in control. Why can't you modify what your plan and your goal is to have the same feeling? There's no vacuum in nature. You see, and that's the one that worries me, because now eventually it'll destroy that person. Your typical meltdown, a reset, you go cry, ice cream, all that. It'll help you reset. But how many times do we ask ourselves, okay, why am I doing this? Honestly, why am I doing this? Right? What's the bigger picture? But here's a funny thing. And this one might now trigger some people.
Warning.
Warning. If you check the Maslow's law, yeah, lower level people who have real problems don't get burnout.
This is factual.
Does it have to be? Because people, it's easier to feel burnout because you're caught up in being caught up, versus you need that 5K, 15K to pay rent. In fact, in that state of being where there's something very serious on the line, you're not getting burned out. You are locked in. And there's a difference. You don't see the now, like now, this, I don't know if they do it anymore, but there's this time in like the startup world, guys would just do extreme things. They'd go hiking and, mountain climbing and running because they're looking for that.
Adrenaline.
Yes, and locked in vibe. Now that comes when you're at the bottom of the barrel hustle, But if you don't sell those 10 sticks, your kids are not going to eat. That person's not getting burnt out. They're getting tired. So it is a more self-actualization problem. And that's why we start saying, okay, so what's your why? What's your intention? You're doing business. You're a big deal. Okay, why? And then because you don't have those lower level, serious, tangible issues, now your softer issues come.
Your traumas.
Yes, your traumas. And it's an indicator that you're not doing too badly if you can use the word trigger 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah. If you don't have food and you are coming home late after doing 2 shifts of waitressing and you sell bananas in the morning and you have 3 kids, the trigger is the cop or the rapist or the whatever before you reach your house. You're not thinking trigger. You're thinking survival. So self-awareness is more important the way you go up. I'm not saying it's lesser than. I'm just saying it's very real to understand that you need to know yourself so that you can be okay as you go up. Otherwise, in a philosophical sense, the world is just, it'll look at you and say, aye, but you're not behaving like you should be here. So what happens? You pick a habit, you go back to the level where you should be.
Should be.
Right? It's that things like the way you win a lottery, you get 250 million. 6 months later, you go back to where you should be. That if you change your mindset, if you know you are aware, then you can stay. Same thing. If somebody very well off can lose all their wealth, go back 2 years, back up. So it's really a mindset thing. So I don't like the way people relate burnout with the equivalent of working hard.
Or work done.
Or work done. I mean, look at athletes. You've seen some of their programs. Look at some of these top CEOs. Like if you see their schedule, like what? This guy just, he lives like this. Yeah. He's not getting burnout. He's planning everything. Including refueling, including time off. I met a lawyer. He's like, I don't drink. It's too much time. I go and I do boxing, and when I'm done boxing, I have a massage. My massage is expensive, but my body is my temple. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. Like that's his massage or to the billionaires club. No hate to the billionaires club, but you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. What are you recharging? What is important to you? For him, his body is very. Some people, it's family.
Yeah.
Some people, it's their mind.
So good and deep very quickly. So to bring us back to like entering yourself, and like I'm really curious because I find it fascinating that we're all born a blank slate. Like nobody was born knowing anything, but somehow along the way we all pick up different skills, different habits, different knowledge that builds us up to a certain point. So as much as you're open sharing, can you tell us how you ended up doing this? Like how do you go from Robert the baby who knew nothing to Robert the executive coach?
Wow. There's a lot of nurture and nature that plays into play. I think there are some things you are born with, and even in our culture, when you come show, you're like who, and I see this, and they could almost predict huyu anakuanga hivi juu ya jina yake, whatever. There's a nature vibe, but bring it closer to home without exposing too much. I reached somewhere where I had what we call the disillusionment. Okay, so people misuse that word. Okay, so they think it's illusionment. No, this is disillusionment. What it means is that you are living life a certain way, and then something happened, and you went like, wait, what? That's not what it is, and it kind of fractures your reality. So during that phase, I really wondered because I'd done so many things. I didn't even notice I'd done so many things. Help run a family business. You find yourself trying to sell cars. Oh, sijui land, sijui security. Like you just do anything and anything that comes your way. So when it reached that point of disillusionment, one of the things I read about was like, if you don't know what to do, ask some people. And I asked 4 people. And I was like, what do you think I can do? What do you think I'd do if you didn't know me? You just knew my traits. And I had funny answers. I said, you can be a teacher. And I said, you can be a pastor. I said, you can be a comedian. I was like, I am. Mm-hmm. Then another lady that was the one who surprised me, showed me, you can be a coach. I was like, oh no, man, okay, I know I was a bit athletic when I was younger, but that was never my ambition. I was doing it for myself. Because I'm not coach, like life coach. That was a while ago. It was not as popular as now. Now everybody's a coach, you know. I was like, what is that? It's like, able Google it, check life coach, executive coach. So those days Google didn't have too much AI. Popped up, sign in, get free PDF. Chap. So the PDF. Advising, me think. I'm like, people get paid for this.
We're doing it for free.
What? And the reason why it impacted on me from her is because she was a very straight lady, church raised, just proper. It was proper. And she told me, Robert, if I ever need straight up advice, I know pastors, counselors, I'd come to you because you tell it to me straight and you probably tell it to me in a way I've not seen it before. I was like, oh, coming from her, I was like, okay, that's something. So that's where I started. I usually have a habit of self-reading. So I just started reading, attending the free webinars. When I started, it was quite expensive. Couldn't afford it. So I was just using the freebies to get ahead in YouTube University. Then eventually I met a lovely lady. I think she's the head of CDI. And she was like, oh, Robert, oh, you feel like a very good coach. Are you certified? I was like, nah, I don't need it. She's like, so you're a witch doctor. So that was my trigger. Even me, I have trauma. As a witch doctor. So it's even dunga suti. So so I went and I did my certification. And now the beauty about being properly certified is that talent has structure. You see, you know how to walk somebody through it. You understand the ethical guidelines. You understand the psychology behind it. And then now the practice just makes you better and better and better. So that's how I got from baby to, so it's the realization, is stuff I went, oh, it's a thing. The way I look at problems. There's even a triggering thing, you know, culturally. I always was bashed because I'd be very excited when I start any project, right? But I'm not about winning. Me, I just like to play the game. So culturally, men must finish. You must see it through. And I used to think, man, I'm lesser than. Till I did my strength test, I was like, me, I'm a guy for ideas. I'm a guy for thinking. Guess what? That's what puts food on the table. Yes. So if you don't align with what you're good at and where it's valued, you might think you're lesser than. You're just in the wrong spot.
I'm sure you have worked with a lot of women who are in business or are maybe working in executive positions. So I wanted you to tell us a few things you've maybe observed and tools, tips, advice that you can give people to kind of do better. Especially we've noticed a lot of us are struggling with one particular thing and maybe it's common. Aside from, we've talked about the fueling your cup and making sure you have fuel to keep going. But what are some other areas you feel like we keep falling down, and like if you could help everyone, what would those areas be?
The type of clients I get, because you know now in coaching, so many different people go to so many other different people, and this might sound a bit off. So the type of ladies I get are high achievers. Okay, so you wonder, what is a high achiever doing the coach anyway?
But I feel like that's usually the type of person who will seek out a coach.
Correct. But here's a funny thing. First and foremost is the schuled voices in your head. So, you know, you're lucky you had a mentor or a dad or something who believed in you and you got the cultural thing. So maybe akina dad were scared that if you shout too much, you'll be seen for the wrong reasons, especially as a woman. I hope I'm safely saying that, right? The concept of sexualizing beauty rather than just appreciating as a feminine aspect, right? So what do they tell you? Mommy, you're very clever. Put your head down, work hard. Your work will speak for.
And don't talk to boys.
Don't talk to boys. Boys are bad. Men are bad, evil, etc. Then they're not. But we'll come to that. So what happens is she puts her head down. She works the work. There is again, a theory. Some people say yes, some people say no. That competency in women is a must for you to be anywhere. It's a must. It's so sad that even if you use other devious means to get your position, you will be demanded by your competence in something. So the women I get are hyper competent, especially in the thing they do. Like if she's an engineer, she's a very good one. If she's a doctor, she's a very good one. If she's a salesperson, she's a very good one. So competence in nutrition. Why? Because they put their head down, they work, they double down. And then they go tap, 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 tap up the corporate ladder, and then they put their head up. And all of a sudden, the demands have nothing to do with competency. You need to take charge of your team. You're not controlling the numbers. You need to direct the narrative. She's like, what? I'm a coder. You see, and that is attached to the dream that she wants, the goal that she wants.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh my God, I don't know this. It's like a master going back to Form 1, My goodness, what do I do? And the biggest problem is the voice in their head. Most women have not trained their tenant in their head to be their friend and their cheerleader. It is always their critic. And how do we create that person? From outside. Every bad person you borrow. Mommy said something bad about your mom. That's what you pick up about your body. And you had an ex-boyfriend who did something to you. That's what you pick up to that voice. So that voice is a manifestation of all the negative voices you've had all over your life. And that's the one tenant that won't go away in your head. And yet you need to train it to be your number one cheerleader, your encourager, and your safe space. That's the biggest issue with women, because once I do coaching, what they all say is, Robert, I feel so affirmed. I'm like, the GLS. You travel to you want affirmation for what? Yeah, you give a guy an old Prado, see how much kiburi he'll get overnight. You see? So I think women really need to, that's the first point of self-care. We do self-care outside a lot and it has this value for it. But I think also inside is very critical.
Yeah.
Because that voice can do a wear and tear on your psyche. It can create self-doubt, which when done too much is bad. And then now we get buzzword like imposter syndrome, right? And I know we like imposter syndrome, but you are an imposter. You right now, you and me right now are imposters in this podcast because we've never been here before. But we lean on our identity and our abilities to show up and complete the task at hand. So you get a new job, right? I'm feeling imposter syndrome. Yes. But you have 25 years of experience also.
Both things are valid, yeah.
Weren't you hired because of that?
Yeah.
But the voice in your head is like, oh, what if? And then if you choke, you start comparing. What did the last boss do? Hey, calm down. Right? How many women use their own data in their life? How many women use their own data? Do you take stock of your achievement and say, by the way, yeah, I did it. And in quiet, not in noise. Because that's the true affirmation you need. And I also think, unfortunately, women are influenced quite easily. And therefore, they have to guard very, very much their influence, where it's coming from.
Why are women influenced easily?
I think it is their nature because they are tribal and they are accepting, they receive, And now because you can't stop that. They receive because they give, right? Even biologically, motherhood, a nurturing spirit. And I'm not saying everybody has to be a mother. I'm just saying the caring, concerned. Some women, even who don't do a lot of mothering and nurturing, you see how they put in their work.
Yeah.
As you said, it's different from a man. Again, switch was like, yeah, I'm done. Not a full stop more. The lady will take the work home. She'll put in extra hours. So when you talk about the influence and the voices that feed in their mind, they have to start sieving them. That's my take. Because we go through like those strength tests and some of those tools we have as coaches, and you see a very competent person going, I've never thought of myself as somebody who's good with relationships. And I'm like, yeah. Why? Because she's comparing, she's absorbing information from where. It's maybe, let's Kenyanize it, yeah? How much does Moshene influence people for real? A lot. And it's not based on data. It's maybe somebody's current mood. And then you actually receive that information and give your tenant in your head. And that's what guides you. You'll be at the short end of the stick pretty soon.
Yeah.
The other philosophy is to say, hey, please get the blessings that are tangible. Like if you want to get advice about careers, get advice from somebody who's made it in careers. If you want, and this is, a touchy subject, if you want to get advice for relationships or marriage, please get it from somebody who's made it. So what do girls do? You're getting relationship advice from your single girls. The data is off. Yes, the data is off. Can't get advice of being rich from a poor man.
Now that you brought it up, actually, there's a question we discussed, and I told you I really wanted to talk about it on the podcast.
Will I be safe in these streets?
A safe space.
Yeah, here.
So in my observation, also do your findings. I don't know if this is like, data driven, but from what I've observed, even my own personal experience, I feel like women, especially the high achieving women, are having trouble in the relationship area. Why do you think that is? And also, I think half the time, okay, maybe part of the time, attracting the wrong person, and then the person that you say in your mind you want, it's like they don't exist. A quick pause. Let's hear a word from our partners over at Digitax. Running a business in Kenya is already like juggling so many balls, and you almost feel like a clown in a circus. Good news is that Digitax is here to make this process a lot easier for all of us. They have a platform where you can easily create your invoices, send them to your customers or your suppliers, as well as be able to also verify any invoices that you receive. And it also allows you to view all of your historical data, and they don't experience any downtime. Digitax is here to make this process of e-invoicing a lot easier and, most importantly, carry compliant. Make sure to check the caption for details on how to sign up, and you can easily access on your phone, your computer, your desktop, or wherever you go. They're your tax assistant in your pocket.
First of all, I'm speaking this from opinion, not professional. Like, because I know they're professionals. They're marriage counselors. They're relationship psychologists who can speak to this. I'll speak from an observatory and opinion
Lens,
perspective.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's my disclaimer. The first thing is philosophical. It's even in the concept of, again, another buzzword of manifesting. You do it in the reverse. So you say, I want a husband or I want a man like this. Unfortunately, that's a 50-50 thing. You don't, you can't want him if you don't become. So the statement should read, if I want man X, he's like this, like this, like this. You've joraded him, you know how he looks. You've drawn him to the foot size, height, whatever, tall, dog, handsome, whatever. You have to ask yourself, how do I become a woman he can want? And that becomes the problem. It's like business. Like when you look at your customer, if you think about him like a customer, you start thinking about, by the way, trigger warning. Think about it.
Mm.
Think about and let's discuss for real. Let's discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me do it for you so that people, you might say, and then there's just lines of people. So let's say, tall, dark, and handsome, or whatever form of attractiveness,
Mm-hmm.
but let's use a typical 6 figures, 6 foot, whatever. So that type of high achieving, very effective man, right?
Mm-hmm.
What type of woman do you think he'd want? I'm not saying, don't remove yourself from that story. Even you, is check your opinion. What type of woman do you think he wants?
Hmm. In my head, I am assuming they probably want someone who matches them, at least intellectually, would be that support system for them. I guess in terms of like life, logistics of things, someone they can actually have like conversations with, like if they're thinking about a business decision or something they can come and talk to their wife about. I'm assuming those who want like a good person, a kind person, a nurturing person, and someone understanding. Because I'm sure because like if they are like making 6 figures, probably they are super busy, have a demanding work life. So someone who is not going to be also really demanding in terms of your time and your attention and all of those things, and who gets like the bigger picture, and also someone who's good with, they say women are good at multiplying. Someone who's good with multiplying as well. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Now, is that possible with where most of these high achieving women are?
I think so.
Can they drop it? Because that's a thing, right? Like real talk.
Mm-hmm.
You're running your 6 figure business, right? As is, plus extras. Sindio. Then this somebody comes. Can that somebody come and eclipse your 15-year achievement and you switch up? And that I think is the disconnect. And I think that's space for conversation. Because not all men will say, drop everything, you take care of me, now you are your wife. And some cultures have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And please, by the way, please give credit where it's due. Running a household, 3, 4 kids with a business, it's an industry,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's an industry. So that, are you able to? Do you want to? Right? You have those type of men. And some of them will say, okay, I want a legacy. You know what that means. Ready to pop now for 5 kids. This is Mama saying, that's it. That's the where. To come from where? That's what I usually hear. Yeah, let me just quote it. Hey, at watoke wapi? I'm like, I don't know. You see.
Yeah.
So even before we start asking where these guys are, let's ask as the ladies, have you even done enough research to find out if that's the ideal man? Because maybe you're sold to the dream and it's not what you want. There might be a lot of satisfaction of, sorry to say, marrying a mediocre man. Mediocre by world standards.
Yeah.
Mid-level management, nice car, comes home, hugs the kids, plays football over the week. Nothing extra special. Because you see, now that's the thing the Western world is also showing us, that there's a price to pay for that, the ideal. Are you willing? Are you wired for that?
Yeah.
Why are we trigger? Why is it that because you're successful, that person has to be
Above.
Hmm.
Wait, no.
You're the one who brought this up.
Yeah.
That's about anything else.
Let me try and put it as politically correctly as I can package it. I think one is societal standards. I think was what we grew up seeing, right? Maybe, okay, speaking for myself, mostly, you like what we kind of see around you is always see like the man is always doing better than the woman. Even if the woman is doing better, it's not put out there. The perception is always daddy's doing better than mom. And that's kind of what we kind of grew up seeing. And I feel like even conventionally, when you watch a movie and you watch shows, that's the message that's kind of always being said, even though it's not outright. That's generally the theme. The man does better than the woman. But also, I think that sometimes there can be power dynamic issues when the woman is making more than the woman. But I think also fundamentally from this concept of men are supposed to provide, and that's the theme that society runs with. And then also I think from a practicality perspective, if this woman is earning 6 figures, he's earning 4. I want to go to Hemingway's for Christmas. You can't afford Hemingway's. I want to pay for Hemingway's. How does that then impact the relationship when you want to do certain things where you're not financially compatible? And I think now the last layer is also financial compatibility as well. So someone can earn less, but they can do well for themselves, but someone can also earn less and not do well for themselves. So I think those are all the different layers to it. Yeah.
Wow. That's a whole podcast. But first, I'd say is what is good for you? What is enough? What is your metric of success? Because surely is a naughty word, even in coaching. Who told you? Who told you? Do you love your, let's say you have a good relationship with your father. Do you love him less or revere him less because of how much he earned? Exactly. But when it comes to marriage, we are doing past struggles. Then please be single. Don't suffer loneliness. Everything has a price.
Yeah.
Like if you feel, first of all, I have a very interesting question mark. Unity is strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
No kidding. We've seen certain ethnic tribes and races get ahead because of the sum of averages, right? And grow exponentially.
Yeah.
How come in our demograph, the first thing we do, even in the home unit, we have two different wallets? I did this with a lady once. I told her, hey, what's up? Let's talk about money. It's like, hey, it's sensitive. I'm like, okay, great. How do you budget money? Well, how much do you earn? I'm like, oh, yeah, and about 350, 400 a month. Alafu ka side hustle. Nafika karibu 500. Oh, okay, good. And the hubs. Right now, I think it's doing about 800 hapo. Inarukanga 600, 800. There, okay. So where you're budgeting 500, him is budgeting 600. Okay. Yeah. Do you see, you have your expenses. Hey, him, he takes care of 1, 2, 3 things. You're equivalent of me. I want to go to Hemingway's. And me, I take care of these things. Okay, good. Humor me this. And this is how numbers look like. You are budgeting 500. If you combine it, how much are you budgeting?
1 point. Well, if it's 800, 1.3.
You're a 1.3 million bob household. That's double. Changes the game. If you're individuals, you're two individuals under a certain, yes. If you're combined, you are an over million bob household. Expenses are the same. I told her, don't give this guy his pocket money. Money you will not ask. Give him his sovereign money. Men are cheap. You cannot believe how men are cheap. Aki. Men are cheap. Able to do the math. Ask men, where does your money, family? And if you talk about money, and this is sensitive again, my opinion, the thing of my money is our money, your money is.
Yeah.
So why are we having issues with Hemingways if you have one wallet? But you don't want to give it up. So should you really be in a contract where you're saying you're one, but you're not? Then don't be, because marriage is like entrepreneurship. It will teach you about yourself like you can't believe.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're looking for the type of man that you want, first of all, do your research. This type of man you've been sold to, is that really what you want? Are his values in relationship with yours? Are you okay with that? Or can you find somebody who's not there what you say, but you're like, this kind of makes me happy, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Once you close those doors, imagine it's you two guys. Nobody cares. So I think, again, influence. What is influencing most of the successful women as to what the ideal man is? Have they really thought about what their ideal man is? And have they now postured themselves to be the woman for that ideal man? Because they're there. They're there. There are 8 billion people on earth. I think more now, but they're there. Right? But sometimes if we really, you see, the problem is such a thing is that you first. It's so easy. It's so easy to project, even for men. On this chick, she's focused, she's educated, she looks good, she has. Can you lead a woman like that? It was to switch it up. I think it's even harder for men.
Yeah.
Yes. And for men, maybe just to pinch the other side, the hardest thing for men, if I may say, is that you have to put on that crown by right, not by symptoms.
Elaborate.
Like you have to be the man and the head before you get the house in Karen, before you get the shinde, before you get the contract. You have to lead that strong woman before. And that's what's so hard. That's the thing of, let me tell you, even society, yeah? If you drive in traffic these days, right? Who have the biggest cars?
I feel like it's a mix.
Kuna. Hey, maybe you're young. Me, I don't know. Me, I don't. As Zamani, you just hear muse. Hey, these days,
Yeah.
the cars ladies are pushing. And not all of them have rich fathers. Not all of them have sponsors. Not all of them have rich husbands. Most of them, it's their pocket and effort.
Self-funded.
Oh, yes. Right? This Jama has done mbele nyuma. Subaru. That's it. And that's not a bad car. I'm just saying you're comparing.
Yeah.
Right? And the lady in the Shinde or the BMW or the Porsche still needs that man. But he's in a Subaru. The one she wants, she's been sold to. She's not, the guy is not on the road. He's on a jet. So self-audit first. And I'm saying you can't get the one in the jet. You can't get the one in the Subaru. Which one is truly yours?
Yeah.
Then become that person. Because that's the big disc. Before we go into those small power struggles is just money. How you get fired?
True. Or the business field. Yeah.
What happens? Right? So we really have to get away from the noise and realize that this relationship is the biggest number one contract you'll ever have in your life. That's the one relationship that will affect you more than anything else. You don't choose your parents. You don't choose how your kids come out. That one is crazy. You'll be trained. You do a lot of training to become a doctor. You need to do training to drive. But one of the most important and riskiest things is no training. There's no training on marriage. It's the same way in Kenya, there's no training for being an entrepreneur. You do it after.
In the process.
Character development. And how many? Like the drop-off rate of relationships in Nairobi is ridiculous. I think there's almost a ministry in church now for divorcees. Like it's yes, because there's something amiss. There's something we are not doing to empower people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of it comes from that we don't want to talk about it. So even asking like this question has felt like a hot topic because we just don't want to have the conversation, but it's something that's happening. And I think the same way that we're open to come and say, okay, I'm struggling with finance in my business, we need to create more avenues and I guess spaces where we come and actually talk about this, because then you'll find, okay, maybe this is how we need to be approaching things as opposed to this way, as opposed to everyone is just learning from what everyone is saying subliminally, as opposed to just coming outright and saying it. Okay. This is feeling a bit tougher than I thought. My next question for you. I've noticed, and even this is a topic that came up quite a few times during Founder Circle, a lot of us as entrepreneurs generally, not just women, have struggled with delegating and overworking. You mentioned it comes from probably wanting to control, but what are some practical tips that you can give our audience to maybe start implementing from today or tomorrow to help them kind of get a bit better at, okay, let this person do it, and then not also come back and snatch it back because they feel like, okay, you didn't do it correctly.
There's a module we train, it's called People and Productivity. And one of the biggest gaps and aha moments I get from my trainees is job descriptions. You can't replicate something you don't know.
Yeah.
You can't delegate something you're not sure of. Let's be very real. We freestyle a lot of things. Like I think Africa, safe space, it's finally caught up with us that we need to grow up in business. We've had it very good. We've had it, we've freestyled success for so long that you can run a multiple layered business almost with ego and bravado and demands. It's time systems matter. So if I don't know what it takes
Mm-hmm.
to set up a training. Even if I get 10 PAs, VAs, and sub-trainers, I can't delegate it. So do you even know the JD, the descriptions? What is the task to be done? What are the qualifications you need? What are the skills you need for it? How long will it take? And what is the value to the outcome? If you don't have that crystal clear, you can't give it away. Because how do you track it? You see? So if you again starts with you.
So,
Yes. So tip, Aya, pull out, try to zoom out from your business and say, what are my pillars for my business? Don't even overcomplicate it. What are my pillars? So I need to sell or I need to buy supplies. Okay, good. What's the system there? Higher. Don't get caught up with too much noise in terms of, oh, everything has to be automated. In fact, me, I usually say, sometimes go old school, then automate. Write it down, then digitize.
Yeah.
Because it'll make you get granular about it. I remember when I was in some time back, I used to run a family restaurant. And what happens, even with no training, because you could do service and be in the cashier and be at the bar and be at the kitchen, if you walked in, looked at the tables, looked at the cars, go back, walk in, you'd know how much you're expecting money-wise by the end of the day. You'd know. And if it misses too much, then you're like, there's a gap. Why? What happened?
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with businesses. Do you know your business that well for you to delegate? So if I now get a manager for that thing, I can tell them, this is what you check, this is what you do, this is what you do. And now you put the systems and metrics of success.
Yeah.
Metrics of success it's not about where's the money, is uliuza ngapi, how many people came in, because you have maybe a sales funnel.
Yeah.
So if you don't start with you understanding that aspect of your business and creating a system, then you can't delegate. So, but what happens psychologically? Because it is your baby, you won't control it. You'd rather mess up with you because the shame is only with. Yes.
Yeah.
Why is it? And this I think is a bit of an African problem, but we're getting better at it. If you go abroad, people have no issues in detaching from their businesses. In fact, you'll hear them exit. You hear the word exit. Exit. You're like, what is this exit? Like, yeah, I'm building this business to sell. But it's my baby. No, it's not. No, it's not your baby. It's okay. We understand. We appreciate how much blood, sweat, and tears you put in. We agree.
Yeah.
But you should be able to see it as something outside of yourself, something you do.
But don't you think that's because we've tied so much of our identity with the business? So like selling it feels like, or even suggesting that this will no longer be mine one day is like, cutting off my arm to basically sell it.
You have a choice, no? They're leaving too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. You're just a manager. And let me tell you, you will give into that toy, it grows and then goes. So at least in business, you'll give and then perhaps you get a good exit. Or at least it shouldn't take away from you.
Yeah.
And yes. And that's why entrepreneurs need to feel themselves first. You have to know who you are beyond your business. Right? If you don't know that, then that's your whole identity. And you can't give away your identity. It's like they just said, it's like giving your arm. But that's sales. That's a sales process. Please give it away so that you can keep making money. So there's also an identity crisis. And people need to be more than the one or two things that they do. Those are roles you play. You see, it's so funny. Like, if you hear how people describe themselves, and so you remember in Founders Cuts, like, what are you? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a businesswoman. And hey, those are roles. Yes.
Actually, introduce yourself without any roles. Like, how were we supposed to do that intro without adding I'm a mother, a business owner, a daughter, or whatever?
Wow. Okay. So there's like, you're making me do a freebie coaching. So there's this program I do called Self-Discovery, right? And we start with your design. The psychology behind it, the reasoning behind it is the manufacturer predetermines what it's for.
Okay.
Okay? And how do you know? It's in the design, right? This is a microphone. its design aspect of being able to collect voice justifies it as a
Microphone.
is it a camera?
Yeah.
How many of us know whether we are microphones or cameras?
I just know my machine.
You are just a machine. I'm just a baby, right? So if you are to describe yourself, you have to know what your design is. What are your strengths? What are your inclinations? What is it that, regardless of where you are the same? So for me, I'm a strategic thinker. I'm very good in ideation. I like working one-on-one, and I'm a maximizer, right? A maximizer is somebody who does good to great. That is me. And that's what my friend picked when she told me, you give great
Advice.
right? That's me, regardless whether I'm my dad, husband, doesn't matter. That's me. But then that's kind of empty if I don't have direction with it. So what are my values? My values are my core values. Remember, there are 3 levels of values. Yeah, there's a should values. That's what you're told. A girl should, afai kufanya, just general stuff you eat up whole when you're young, right? Should values. And then there is chosen values, the stuff you admire. Yeah, this is the concept of don't meet your heroes. Something you admire in them so much, and then when you meet them, you're like, right? And then there's core values. Core values is your true north. This is the thing that will disturb you even if everything else looks successful. That one, if it's not honored, it's the one that scratches.
Yeah.
Right? So you have your strengths and then you have values. And core values are weird, right? Like for me, it's freedom, joy, teaching, and authenticity. So coupled with my concept of I think I can communicate very well, and I like authenticity, I like teaching, I seeing how now the vehicle for that is coaching and training. And I can have the hardest day, and somehow after a session I feel, good. See that alignment? That is me.
Okay.
Right? Regardless. That shows up as a father. That shows up as a coach. That shows up as a friend, as a husband, whatever. And that now I maintain that. That is the tank we fill. Because if I don't get my freedom, if I don't get a way to be authentic, then it takes away.
Yeah.
And then I start showing up as a irritated father, edgy husband, bias coach. Oops. So we need to find what and who are we design-wise.
Yeah.
So, and then the formula for success is you get to understand that know your talents, make them into strengths. That gap is usually by adding knowledge, skills, or experience. Otherwise, I'd just be a nice guy at the bar giving you life advice instead of a coach. You see, right? So that strength, put it where it's
valuable.
For me, where was it? I went to. So when I came out of that day, I was like, yeah, now I'm going to see the man child. Yes, go, man. Nothing. No one guy. I think okay, 1 or 2, but those were our friends, and I thank God for them. But and then a lady asked me, "Do you also coach women?" And I've never looked back. 98% of my clients are ladies.
Yeah.
So that's why it's there are other men who are really great coaches for men. Me, I'm not. Not that I can't coach men, but where is it valued? And I can keep giving and getting better and getting better. So that alignment, understanding who is Yvonne, what are her core strengths, what are her values, how does she show up, what's the vehicle for that?
Yeah.
And the vehicle can change. I can be stripped. God bless his internet. Okay, now you'll be like a Gava advisor. Quisha, done training. Next level.
You made it.
I made it, Mary. I made it.
Okay, so let's quickly step out of your shoes as Robert the coach and into Robert the business owner, because now this is all a business for you, right? So I'm curious to hear a little bit more about how you actually run this as a business. Do you do a monthly accounts meeting with yourself or with someone and look at, okay, these are the numbers, this is what we made, and what are some recent decisions you've made from looking at the numbers, and what do you kind of look at to help you make those decisions?
There's been a reality check. Let me not say recently. I think last year there was a very big shift, aha moment when I did my general audit.
Mhm.
And so for us, it's not a very big team.
Mhm.
It's really seeing where my effort is creating output. Okay.
Mhm.
Right. So last year, I was in front of a lot of women. A lot of women, man. Like, wow. I think I trained maybe 500. Yes, in batches of 50, 60, 70, like that. You see?
Mhm.
So you come in and you're in a class and you're interacting, and that limelight, you're feeling like you're doing so much.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
But then that was a business training, right? And then now this other one,
Mhm.
I was doing my executive clients. Yeah, one.
Mhm.
I think I didn't have to. It wasn't a bad year. I think I almost had around 10. But that's really good in coaching because the programs are long.
Mhm.
They're like 6 months, 9 months. So you don't have 20 of them. You can't. So
Mhm.
me in my head,
Mhm.
the vavavoom was with the ladies,
Mhm.
right? But the numbers
Mhm.
were a dot because I was being paid to train. Those ladies were not paying me.
Mhm.
So I was hired as a trainer to train on behalf.
Yeah.
But when you're there, you have this psychology of, like 1, 2, 3, wengi sana. You feel, impact.
Mhm.
Numbers don't lie to you.
Yeah.
Numbers are your friends.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the numbers, 2 of my clients
Mhm.
covered the 500. Now, there is the money, right?
Mhm.
So 2 money-wise covered 500,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Higher. That's what we're at heart. Energy-wise. This one, the 2
Mhm.
was so easy to do. This other one
Mhm.
was a headache back end.
Mhm.
Preparation, coordinating with the person hiring,
Mhm.
logistics. They've not done it because I didn't have much control.
Mhm.
I was just coming to plug in.
Yeah.
So if you did the standards, I wanted to raise them. I couldn't because I didn't have that power. Oh, tena tumesonga hivi, you're being called last minute. So the energy drain for that one was much, much higher and the numbers were much, much lower. So I was losing twice over. This one's
Mhm.
one conversation, it's online, bank.
Mhm.
And you could see the results.
Yeah.
Oh, but this happened. Oh, I got the job. Oh, this. I'll refer you to my friend. I'm like, oh, man.
Mhm.
So it makes you understand, oh, am I doing it? Right. So tracking your numbers in accordance to what your goal was makes you wake up.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest aha I can use.
So what decision did you make from those figures now?
So from those figures, I said, I will not stop doing the one-on-one.
Mhm.
In fact, they still very much fulfill me and it's important work. Some of the ladies we support,
Mhm.
what their work impacts hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm like, yeah, that's important.
Mhm.
And it pays.
Yeah.
Pays well.
Mhm.
The shift was I will not train on behalf much anymore unless the price is right.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And now I'm moving to doing my own trainings where I can control end to end.
Yeah.
That was a big shift for me.
Okay.
Right. Yes. And when I did a little market research,
Mhm.
they were like, yeah, it's about time. We've been waiting.
Mhm.
So now that just put more pressure on how much logistical effort I have to put in. But you see, it's mine to control, and not in terms of that micromanaging. It's for me, the excitement is in the creating.
Mhm.
Because for me, the idea is to do it a bit and then now train trainers to my level to do it now as an outfit.
Yeah.
That would be the idea.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, that's insightful. So we're going to hop into our last batch of questions, which is quickfire. So you answer in a sentence or shorter.
Is that possible?
It's possible. It's possible. When is the last time you took a day off?
When is today?
Wednesday.
Last week, maybe. I think last week was tight.
So you do it weekly
Yes.
or every 2 weeks?
Weekly. If I can an afternoon,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
If I can a day.
And what does a day off mean? Does it mean your phone is switched off, you're sleeping, you're not interacting with anyone, or it means hanging out with your daughters? Or what does a day off mean for you?
It actually could mean any of those things depending on how the week has been.
Mm.
So I see where it has been less because nobody says that I can't break with my kids, right? So we have this 3D thing. I think I told you, daddy and daughters. I have two. So it's 3D. So we are doing a movie or we're going for breakfast, just us. And it's just 2 hours of nothing. Yeah. So I try to do that at least weekly or at least every 2 weeks. The one I really like is the switching off. If I can just go away, go as far as I can, see the scenarios, open road, sit somewhere, think. So for me, and I think that switch off that's a bit weird is I can switch off to think.
I think it's actually necessary to switch off to think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, it's to switch off to think. I can take. So unfortunately, that comes at a cost. I'm still figuring out I'm not perfect at all. So what happens? I can do a late night. So I'll tell them that tomorrow I'm sleeping in because at night was pretty much the only time I got enough quiet to get it done. Yeah. So I do like a late night 2-3 a.m. I'm just thinking and processing and then but then even if I'm sleepy, I go like, there's nothing in my head. And then I black out.
So what is the last thing you did for fun?
I took a long trip with a bunch of old men. Yeah.
On the bike.
On the bike. That was fun. Did a round trip.
To where?
Nairobi, Garissa, Hola, Malindi, Diani, and back. That was nice.
Okay. To me, that just sounds like whack, but okay. What's one thing you struggle with that you wish more people talked about?
Embracing inadequacy. Embracing inadequacy is like, what am I weak at that either I have to do or I don't have to do? Like, I want to have that choice that if I'm not very good at that, do I really have to do it? Why am I stepping up to your standard?
Yeah.
Versus, that's important. I think I need to get some skills.
What does success look like for you now versus when you were starting out?
Success looks like peace. Peace and that quietness of doing, this is what I'm doing now, and I'm embracing my season. I'm not in that much of a hurry. Like, this is my growing stage. I'll enjoy every aspect of my growing stage. When I started, it was money. Like, every coin counts. See, there's almost that desperado thing.
Yeah.
I need to close a client. These days, there are clients I want to take. Like, let me refer you. Yes. And with good reason.
Yeah. All right. So the last question. So the guest before you in the last episode left a question for you to answer. So I'll give you that question, and then you leave a question for the next guest to answer.
No, that's terrible.
So he asked, is there some kind of secret or magic sauce that you guys are using to ace business that the rest of us don't know about?
It's gonna sound vague, but the secret sauce is you trust yourself. It sounds really vague, but if you go deep, by the way, it's you. There's something in you that just works. You need to listen to that quite more often than outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now leave a question for our next guest.
It'll start with a statement. What's most important in life is knowing what's most important. So what's most important to you?
Thank you so much for coming on this set. And we were actually just saying when we took a break that we need to do a part 2 for sure. I didn't get through all of my questions that I think would be very valid to ask. So he's coming back in season 2. I've already committed you. But I'd be really curious for you guys to drop any questions that you have for him in the comment section. If any particular question that we addressed during this topic that you thought you want us to probe more into, please drop the questions and we'll definitely make sure to bring him back on. Thank you for watching. This has been Founder Diaries. Make sure to subscribe. It really helps us. And leave any thoughts, whatever, in the comment section. See you on the next one. Bye. That's a wrap. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Beauty Square KE. Beauty Square was my first full-blown business and the brand that pulled me into entrepreneurship and shaped so much of what I share here. In many ways, this podcast is an ode to that journey, the lessons, the growth, and the courage to start before everything was figured out. At Beauty Square, we're passionate about helping everyone become a skin expert, offering authentic products, from TikTok favorites to proven solutions for acne, dark spots, and more, with a team ready to guide you through all the right choices. Visit us at our CBD or Lavington branches for expert treatments like facials, waxing, body scrubs, and massages from our sister brand Sage. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at beautysquare.ke and at Sage Skin, spelled SAGESKNN. And thank you for tuning in.